Welcome everyone, Dr. Thor here. Get ready for Gnosis. Well, in my continuing process here to get everybody psychically working their psychic muscles, you got to pump that psychic iron, people, and this is what people don't do. And I always try fun ways of doing it. The most boringest thing you can do, which is proven to actually hurt you psychically, is to do ESP cards for any period of time. Now, I like ESP cards for their simplicity to do along with lots of other things. And we've shown you in our book, The Occult Gym, that there you can use stuff out there, toys and other things. It's a lot of fun to test, or I should say, to pump some psychic muscle. Now, psychic practice is something that everybody states. I talk to people all, it's a cliche. Everybody has psychic energy. Really? Well, that's just not true at all. Yes, that's like saying everybody has a heartbeat. Yeah, that's true, because you have to survive. But the bottom line is most people are very psychically weak. Plain and simple. So if you want to be psychically strong, you have to get out there and practice it, especially if you want to be someone who uses it as a skill instead of just, did it hit me in the head? What was that? So the whole idea is you really have to practice psychic work. Now, the two things you need to do, of course, centering. I have an entire book on that called The Occult Secret. Super powerful method. There are two ways of doing it, the long and short way, but these are fantastic ways when you do these things daily to center yourself and to be able to have great concentration abilities. They're not really concentration. I hate to use that term, and I mistakenly used it. The whole idea is how to turn your brain off. Now, concentration is turning your brain on. People think that when psychic things happen, you concentrate. It's the opposite. Psychic works by popping in your head. It's unconcentration. So, but you have to learn how to disconnect and how to control your mind. You also then have to, of course, be able to do high-level cult gym, pumping the psychic muscle. And, of course, visualization. All of these I'm going to come out with new material relatively soon, booklets and tools that will be fantastic for you to use in these areas. You don't have those skills, everything else you do, you're going to get much lesser results. You want to use the mech tech, you want to do radionics or subtle energy physics machines, or any other of the alternative practices, well, it doesn't come to you naturally. I don't think anything comes naturally to anybody. You may have some natural abilities, and this could be for anything. Maybe you're good at numbers, but generally this stuff is a supportive environment. Maybe you're tall, you play basketball. So the whole idea is that these things, there are some natural abilities, your body type, etc. Whether, if you're tall, as I just mentioned. But all of these things are not necessarily natural ability. A lot of tall guys can't play basketball, by the way. So it takes a skill. It takes people to push you. It takes you to go out there and train with it and like it. And the same thing holds true. Psychic power is not given to you. It's not easy. It's not a high-level empowerment. But are the capabilities there? Well, yes, everybody can use intuition and pump the psychic muscle to perform at a pretty good level. But to be a master, you're going to have to get into it. But the bottom line is that you want to be good at something, you have to practice it. Now, and I talked to a racing car driver, and the kind of physicality it takes to sit in a car at high intensity for hours, driving it. You would think, well, yeah, of course it's tiring. But no, it's exhausting. So to train to be a race car driver, you have to run a lot, build up your stamina. So these are the type of things that have to happen, and everybody seems to not get it. So those are the secret to high-level and extreme abilities: centering, occult gym practices, and visualization. And most people think they can do some of these things. They can't. Some people tell me they can visualize. Well, you're probably not visualizing at a high level, because if you're not using one of my tools, then you are not doing it right. And you got to pump that visualization muscle every day. So, and you have to do all sorts of fun things. That's why I recommend numerous tools. We used to sell a big kit of psychic training tools. And what we're going to do in the future here is we're going to write more of this stuff in book. We had all sorts of great tools how to do it. Use those tools. You're going to be awesomely powerful. But it's a difficult thing to supply. Who knows what the future holds? Radionic Tech is going through massive reorganization. All our products are changing, and I'm excited to get to this next level, and we'll see what happens. But we're trying to write a lot of mini booklets and make simple little things that you can use for visualization and other things to train you. And there's things you can get. Well, here is one of them. It's the mini Las Vegas trademark, Rollette. So this is based on the roulette game, which I'm assuming everybody kind of understands. But you spin a ball, and where that ball goes, we don't know. But where it stops, we'll find out. And if you put money on the number it stops, you win. There's also colors and other things. I don't think this particular tool works with colors, but generally, you can find stuff like this inexpensively, particularly on used sites, maybe at swap meets, car boot sales, whatever it is you're into, dude. And a lot of times you can pick these up very, very cheap for a few bucks, or even buy them online in the usual places. Places like eBay and Etsy. You can find used stuff and even the usual culprits. The A Company that we all hear about, like a river. So the whole idea is that you can pick these up inexpensively, and these are things you can look for. How can you use this as a psychic training tool? Well, again, if you want to train your mind, you have to use varied tools for very short periods of time, often. Now, that's the key to learning as well. I've just given you the 3 areas you have to study: centering, occult gym activities would open up all your psychic centers, and visualization. Now, excuse me, what is the key to learning? Doing things at high intensity. I feel cool. I want to do it now. I'm pumped up. You've got to be in that state of mind. Then you want to do it for very short periods of time. Literally, we look at sigils for about half a second, or 1/1000, or 1/1 is half a second. 1/1. 1/1000 would be a whole second. So the simple as that. Flick, flick, flick. The energy is processing through your system. The worst thing you can possibly do is spend a lot of time on these things. Your brain just says, oh, bored. What's next? And you tune out. So you got to make sure you do things a very short period of time. Do it at high intensity. Yeah, I want to do this. And then repeat it often. So, and that means just because you're doing things for such a short period of time, you could theoretically do whatever practice you want to do 3, 4, 6 times a day. I mean, you don't have a few seconds, a minute. If you did something for a minute 6 times a day, that would be 6 minutes. So these are the type of things that you can do, and this is how you build intensive energy. And apparently nobody has figured that out except, of course, me, but this goes back to old mystery schools and just plain being a person who's reached a state of gnosis. So the whole idea is all this is part of the process, and people should understand that. Now, once you have that in mind, what do you do? Well, this is just, it has a battery in here. 1 battery, and that has 2 spots there. It must be a general case. Your typical little coin batteries. These are the fatter ones. You can hear, oops, you can hear that kicking off. Okay, so that's closed. Oh, we have a problem here. Okay, we're back in business here. It kind of looks like a little Star Trek communicator, doesn't it? Beam me up, Scott. Okay. So the whole idea is this is a roulette. So this has, there is 1 through 34 on here, I believe. And when you trigger it, it'll go through those numbers. And of course, you got to find out how yours works. How many numbers is on there? What is it? Yeah, it's 1 through 36. Okay. There's 36 numbers in here. So you have a 1 out of 36 chance to get it right, which is quite the odds, by the way. Don't think that that's simple because there isn't lots and lots more numbers. So the whole idea is what you're trying to do, and this trains you kind of to be prophetic. What you're trying to prophesize the number that's going to come up here. And how would you do that? Because you're going to have to use future sensing techniques. That's one of the interesting things about this. You're not trying to just sense what they are, guess. And what you want to do is stay away from guessing, and that's always difficult. As you use this a lot, you have to learn to center yourself, go into neutral, and think of nothing. What pops up? Then we think of the numbers, and then we say, gee, I can't think of anything. I'll just say 5. Dropsy today. So that's exactly what you want to avoid. So guessing is difficult to do, but if you're doing these things very quickly for just a minute or two, you should be able to turn off your nervousness, your want to win attitude. The other person you're cheating by just guessing is yourself. So as I said, they make many different of these things. They're usually cheap. Look around for them. And anyone should work. So if you can get it cheap, as long as it's working, you're set. So let's look at the dashboard here. And they give you instructions for this and everything else. Here's where, and we'll show you how this works. This is how and this is a random number generator that will generate numbers from 1 to 36. So, these kind of things are great for psychic prediction. So what is this circuit in the future going to come out as? So when you look at it that way, it shows you this isn't some sort of psychic guessing game. And you never guess in psych. You don't guess. And this is something that parapsychologists, the dumb idiots they are, need to make sure anyone doing these kind of things doesn't. You're not here to guess. Okay, so let's have this right here. We can show it. There's all sorts of keys on here, and I'm not going to go into this. It's very boring. You can bet with this and everything else. So if you want to learn, this in focus here. If you want to learn how to do roulette and go into all the complicatedness of it, you certainly can do that. But that's as boring as can be. We're just using it as a random number generator from 1 to 36. If you want to learn roulette efficiently and everything else, well, go for it, because you can extend from something like this into actually playing roulette and actually prophesizing the number that will come up. Because time and space doesn't exist. So unless your body falls off a mountain and then you hit the bottom. But remember, it's not the fall that kills you, it's the sudden stop. So, okay, so now we go on here and we turn this on. We push the spin button, and then we push enter. Whoops. Oh, wait a minute. Now you can see here how the ball is going around the roulette wheel. Now, where will it stop? 4. So, did you prophesize that? Speaking of prophecy, do you have a question in mind? You know, the mystic pyramid is here. Dug from the ancient Egypt at the time of the pharaohs, when they had invented plastic, and can answer all your questions. Have one in mind?
Each step takes you closer to the prize.
Excellent wisdom. Okay, so, understanding that allows you then, so you could pull this out, you could be standing someplace, even in line. That's good. It's always a good idea to use stuff like this in busy, complicated places. Lines, stores, if you're waiting to check out with your food. You pull something out like this, you got a few seconds. It's a good way to put you off guard. So again, what you want to do is you want to prophesize from 1 to 36. Can you read the future without guessing? As I said, I can't go through these things while I'm explaining it myself, but it's not easy anyway. So the whole idea is you generally, of course, that's what came up before. We're going to set up the spin again. I would say 19. Just kind of saw that. $14. Close. So the whole idea is that's what you do. And again, don't guess. I didn't guess there. That's what popped into my head, and that's how you do it. So this is a great way to practice. It tunes you out of the common world. It's another shifting tool, but also this can be very effective. As I said, you're actually learning to prophesize by seeing the future, even if it's just a few seconds ahead. Can that be done to days, hours, weeks, months, years? Well, this is how everything starts, from such a humble beginning to such a more empowered lifestyle. So that's a great way to use this. This is from Mini Las Vegas. You've got these different buttons. There's roulette. There's probably poker and other things. And all of these things can be used that way. If there's any kind of... But, you don't have to get this. As I said, get anything that can do that. I even use regular roulette wheels. You do a wheel, you spin it, and then you run the ball there, just like you would in a casino. And you can do that as well. And if you're going to use this in a casino operation, don't use an electronic one. Get the regular type of roulette wheels. Use balls, and that way practice. See how good you can get at it. Maybe you'll get so good at something like this that you'll become rich. So, stranger things have happened. Don't underestimate it. So, I hope everybody's enjoyed that. There'll be many more tools I bring to you, and we'll be putting this in instructional books and giving you further information as time goes on. Until next time.